Today on DNVR Buffs Live, a lot of things are happening in Buff Nation. But maybe more importantly than all is the two most salacious words in sports media. Quarterback competition? Let's do it.
Buff Nation.
Let's go.
Squad.
Yes, sir. DNVR Buffs Prime Time. Coming to you live from the Toyota Lounge, driven by your Front Range Toyota Store. Toyota, the official vehicle of DNVR. Oh, boy. Coach Prime and the staff have been cooking.
Yes, they have. It's up.
It's way up.
Yeah.
We are up to 8 commits now. We just got one right before we went live, too.
Oh, yeah.
8 commits. I think 17 guys have left. And these are all like positions of need that they're getting these commits in.
Absolutely.
But we start today with the quarterbacks. Former Liberty quarterback Kaidon Salter has committed to Colorado. Not just committed. He's signed already.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The school's announced it. He's like there.
Locked in.
Yeah.
He's a Buff.
He's ready to go. Just your, I guess, your guys' initial reactions to the commitment, then we'll get into the QB competition. We're going to spend 8 months talking about this QB competition. So
This is a big get, man. This is a perfect kind of bridge quarterback to get Colorado from where they are now to the Julian Lewis era that is surely to pop off and start off here, any moment now, and maybe as soon as 2025. But nonetheless, this is great for Colorado in the short term, and this is great for Julian Lewis in the long term, in my opinion. Obviously, this is going to be a veteran offensive line. Kaidon Salter is going to have the best weapons he's ever had to throw to in Colorado in 2025. And this is a guy who's played a lot of football. I mean, 5,000 plus passing yards over his career, 2,000 plus rushing yards over his career. This guy he's just a playmaker and a dual threat guy, a guy you can design runs for, a guy who's going to improve your run game, not only because of what he can do in the run game, but also because when he is a threat every single time to pull the football in zone read and power read situations, that is going to keep defenders off balance. And this is just going to help improve this running game. And also, too, we talked about with Coach Prime yesterday, and just in terms of what he's looking for, one of the things he mentioned in Julian Lewis, he was talking about, was a winner. Was a winner. And he said there's also a winner already in our building right now. And he was talking about Kaidon Salter, who was on a visit. Kaidon Salter is 29-9 as a starter over the last 3 seasons. 29-9. Again, this is an experienced guy. This is a winner. And as long as people don't expect to see Shedeur Sanders reincarnated and Kaidon Salter, they're going to be very pleased and impressed with what Kaidon Salter does in Boulder.
Yeah, I mean, to me, this is the best thing for the Buffs is to have, at the very least, 2 good quarterbacks on the roster that they can turn to. And in the end, most teams have to look to a backup at some point during their season. We literally just saw Georgia win the SEC championship, and they're going to be going into the college football playoff likely with a backup quarterback. You got to have another guy. We've been pretty lucky, pretty blessed over the last 2 years that Shedeur played all but one game, really 1.5 game.
Seriously.
But I remember doing this about the NFL a couple years ago, and it was something like 40% of teams have to go to their backup at some point in a game Who that backup is going to be is yet to be seen. From a Juju perspective, which to me is the perspective I'm most interested in, I also think this is the best thing for his development.
Definitely.
It's twofold. one side of it is you never want to be handed anything. As much as I believe in Juju Lewis's work ethic and his willingness to go out there and do everything he can to be the best player, everyone runs faster when they're being chased, right?
Yep.
This is just it's just natural. Like
human nature.
You don't even know you have that gear until you got no choice but to have that gear in that moment. And so I think it pushes him in that way, and also allows him to I guess I have to be careful with the way I'm saying this because I don't want it to sound like he can rest. But there's also like an extra pressure that's there when it's just 100% obvious you're the starter.
Yes.
You're coming in here. You have no choice but to be our guy. That puts this like clock on it of like it's not that I got to be ready soon. It's I have to be ready now, and I don't know if I'm ready now.
Yeah. And
this allows him to say like he kind of takes his mind off that entirely. I just got to go be the best quarterback on this team so I can win this starting job. And so I think that's great for him. And one last part of this is I think there's absolutely a way where both of these guys contribute when both of them are healthy.
Definitely.
Because Kaidon Salter brings something that the Buffs have not had in the Coach Prime era, which is true dual threat ability into this offense. And so whether that is bringing him in short yardage to allow like QB power or give type of situations, or even selfishly, I would love to see the 2 quarterback backfield, which is
your theory.
Yes, which is a offense that I invented on a podcast like 8 years ago, called the RRPPO offense. Both guys can run it, both guys can pass it. It's a beautiful thing. So even if they don't get that creative, I still think that this is something that is beneficial, really, in all facets. And I think, I want to say it was Dalvin who said something along these lines earlier, but he was just like, you can't only have one player at a position. Like, everyone understands that.
Yeah.
And I don't even think Juju Lewis was expecting to come into a quarterback room of him and Ryan Staub or him and Dominic Ponder or both. Like, everyone is under the impression that the team is going to be trying to be the best they can at every position.
I mean, you guys nailed it. It's the running game aspect that makes this so intriguing and so fascinating because, I mean, the last 2 years, how many times has Colorado not just got gashed by the run, but this last year especially by running quarterbacks? And when you're playing 11 on 11, it really does. I mean, it literally evens the playing field, and it makes things a lot easier. They've struggled to get this running game off the ground the last 2 years, and he could be the guy that really kickstarts it and gets it going. But in terms of, the competition and, what Kaidon Salter brings just right away, you nailed it, RK. It's the pressure. Like, you get to take that off Julian right now. Like, you don't have to just hope and pray and accelerate his development and, maybe skip a few steps and just hope that, opening day against Georgia Tech in 2025 that he's ready to go. You can just keep on going and just run with, Salter and run a pretty simplified offense. I mean, it's a lot of RPOs, a lot of, quarterback runs, just running the football, and they'll get a running back. I mean, we're just getting started, but 8 commits, in the last 3 days. 3rd year in a row now.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's coming in fast. And again, I just love this for Juju for a lot of the reasons that you articulated, RK. And we talked about it a little bit on the show yesterday, Jake. Like, we've seen this happen time and time again, usually at the NFL, but certainly we see it happen occasionally at the college level too, where you rush a guy out there before he's truly ready. And you can ruin a guy's confidence. You can ruin a guy's momentum, stunt the guy's development. And that's the last thing you want to do to a talented prospect like Julian Lewis. And adding a guy like Kaidon Salter, who, again, can take the pressure off in the meeting rooms as a leader, on the football field as well. Because, again, it's a lot of pressure when you're coming in as a highly touted true freshman quarterback in particular. And guys who have been playing college football for 3-4 years are already looking at you to be a legitimate leader. And that Julian is a leader, but it's different being a leader at Carrollton versus a leader of a locker room at Colorado, again, full of guys who've been playing college football for a handful of years. So Kaidon is going to take a lot of pressure off him, like you guys mentioned. And again, I think there's also a world where, like you said, both those guys play, or even maybe the best case scenario, Julian just proves that he's the better quarterback throughout the fall. And that would be the best case scenario. And again, it goes back to what we were talking about yesterday. If Julian Lewis were to beat out no offense to a Ryan Staub or a Dominique Ponder, there would still probably be some people who we got to see it officially. But again, if you go through a full spring and fall, and Julian Lewis is head and shoulders a better quarterback than Kaidon Salter, who has damn near 10,000 career total yards, of college football, that says a lot about Julian Lewis. But again, either way, I think Salter is the type of guy. If he's the guy right away, they'll have Colorado right back in the Big 12 title mix again, with all the weapons around him, with a defense that we expect to be very solid once again. This is just great all around, and another huge win for the recruiting staff. Them boys recruiting, man.
Yep.
And just real quick on the idea of the recruiting staff, my number one point this entire time about quarterback recruiting was how difficult it's going to be.
Yeah.
And so a huge hat tip to them for being able to pull this off, and hat tip to Kaidon Salter for sure,
Absolutely.
too. Because, Juju obviously comes here knowing that Shedor's going out. Kaidon Salter comes here knowing that Juju is coming in.
Yeah.
And I think it's a huge feather in the cap of his competitive spirit. That he said, 5-star quarterback, I don't care. I think I can go beat him out.
Nope.
I mean, Scott nailed it. The best case scenario is still Julian beating out Kaidon Salter and just proving he's the better quarterback.
Yeah.
Because he's not only ready, but he might be ready to light the Big 12 on fire just right away.
Yeah.
And someone, I think it was No Chill Will, had a comment like, look at what happened to Dylan Raiola this year. He kind of came out the gate hot, and then he gets into conference play, playing, teams who have watched him, the 3 or 4 games, whatever, prior. They already start figuring him out. And, there might be some of that with Julian, too, whenever he gets in there and is actually on the field. But you don't have to worry about that, and you actually have depth. And that's what we've always been talking about with this team the last 2 years. They haven't really had the depth. Now they're getting depth at the quarterback room.
Yeah.
That's a program type of thing to do.
Hell yeah.
100%. And programs, no one ever has any question about whether there's going to be competition. You know what I mean? Like, when you're going to Georgia or Alabama, you're doing so with the understanding that there's going to be multiple other 5-star players at your position. And so that's how you get to the top. That's how you get true depth. That's how you build a champion, is by building depth across the board. And I feel like this one might be the hardest position to build real depth at, and they just did that. And the last thing I'll say on this is, how exciting is fall camp going to be now?
Cracking.
I mean, the daily updates from Unk.
Yeah, exactly.
That's going to be like gold.
Appointment television or internet television to find out,
Even the spring.
Yes.
For sure.
Yes, exactly. But regardless, following these guys is a whole new storyline. I mean, well-off media views are going to go up because there's something that everyone's going to want to watch.
Yeah.
QB competition might be like one of the hottest SEO phrases of 2025.
Oh yeah, people are going to be all over this thing, man. I mean, I've covered some really sad quarterback competitions for the Denver Broncos, but even when the quarterback competition is sad, people still want to know who's winning. So this one won't be so sad. This one's actually pretty exciting quarterback competition, and we'll be obviously following it very, very, very closely.
And now that a proven commodity at the quarterback position is transferred to Colorado, we haven't seen any receivers from the transfer portal commit to Colorado, but I would assume that would change here momentarily.
Well, I mean, we talked about Concepcion yesterday, and he went on his visit, and I told you guys yesterday he's going to go on more visits. The intel is he's probably not going to commit till close to after the new year. So he's going to take his time. And this is going to be a process. But I think things went pretty well. I mean, he was getting a lot of love from Buff Nation. And we got a new hashtag already.
Yes, sir.
And you could just tell, I mean, he was living it up in the Champion Center.
He looked like he had a good time.
Oh, he was having a blast.
Yeah, man. But, I mean, everyone in the country essentially wants him. So it's going to be a battle.
Facts.
It will be. All right, let's take our first break, and then we'll get to more. Shout out to the homies over at Live Well. Scotty's living well always, right?
Always. 4L.
Same.
Live Well 4L.
Live Well 4L.
What is it?
Live Well 4L.
You know what 4L stands for, right?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
I think so.
Oh, my God.
I'm scared to have
Yeah, I'm just not going to, bro.
I'm just not going to.
Oh, I know. But shout out to Live Well. They got 25 Colorado locations. They're literally everywhere out here. Best service, products, that you can find out here in Colorado. They even have a price match guarantee, ensuring you get the best value by matching local competitors' prices on eligible products. Put in an in-store pickup at livewell.com, scan their whole menu. Super easy. Just go in there, show them your ID, pay, and you're on your way. Mention code DNVR25 in-store, and you'll receive 25% off one regular priced item. Some restrictions apply. Shout out LiveWell.
Shout out to him. Also, shout out to Bet365, where, yes, in case you're wondering, I did look to see if I could bet on the Georgia 7A state championship game tonight. Turns out you can't, but you can bet on just about everything else, and it's always more fun when you have a little bit of skin in the game. I don't know about you guys, but I've actually enjoyed the beginning of bowl season for the first time in a while.
I'm going to admit, I didn't realize bowl season had started. I
didn't
game
either.
On yesterday.
It was just in my face.
Yeah.
I was at the golf simulator, and then it just popped up, and I was like, is this live? I was like, oh, it is. All right, Memphis, West Virginia. Lock me in.
Go crazy.
And I don't know. Maybe there's something about being a participant in bowl season that makes it a lot more appealing. But what also makes it appealing is having a little skin in the game. And I'll just give you guys a little pro tip. I'm 3-0 so far betting on bowl games.
Oh, wow.
And the strategy I use is just look at the portal.
Who left?
Who's there? Who's not?
Yeah.
Their starting quarterback went in the portal. Well, they're going to lose.
Yeah.
It's obviously not that easy. But so far it has been. Find the teams that have the least portal entries and bet on them to win. So anyways, get over to Bet365 and use the code DNVR365 to unlock $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Sign up, use that code DNVR365. Deposit $10, settle a bet for $5, and get $150 in bonus bets. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
Shout out to Bet365. Okay.
Chill out, King Mars.
Multiple commitments, as I mentioned, to get to. This one just happened right when we were going live. Former Oklahoma cornerback Michael Vick has committed to Colorado. Young kid, 3 years of eligibility remaining, was a 2023 four-star recruit. Damn near a five-star. He was the 75th overall player in that class, listed at 6'1", 190. He's a Florida boy, too. Quincy, Florida. Only played in 4 games this last year. Had 8 tackles, 1 PBU. I mean, kind of sounds like what Colton basically did last year at Auburn.
Yeah.
Just another highly touted recruit coming into Colorado at the cornerback position.
Love it. First DB to come in. We love to see, like you said, a former top 75 player in the class of 2023. Was a reserve corner for a really good Oklahoma defense that has some really good cornerbacks and defensive backs in that secondary this year for the Sooners. So, again, we don't know a ton about him in terms of production, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the guy can't play. And especially when you're going to be coached by Deion Sanders and Robert Livingston and Kevin Mathis, I would bet on this young man improving and finding the field here soon.
Yeah, there's, it's that classic, like, there's a few different buckets that transfers come from, and this is a one that we're familiar with.
Yeah.
Highly rated recruit who hasn't really gotten a chance on the field yet.
Mm-hmm.
When that person is a defensive back and they're coming in to work with this coaching staff, that's exciting to me.
Yeah.
That's one where it's just like, okay, let's see. Like, they're kind of calling their shot here. We can unlock that potential.
Facts.
And obviously, I have a lot of belief in those guys to do it. So, looking forward to seeing him come in here. Obviously, from a physical trait standpoint, he really stands out, which is probably why he was such a highly rated recruit.
I love that you brought up Colton, too, because the same can be said for Colton. Like, he didn't have – you look at the box score, he didn't have a lot of tackles, PBUs, interceptions last year at Auburn and kind of limited playing time. But obviously, we saw once given an opportunity, he's a hell of a player. And, again, I'm not saying that's going to be Vickers, but it very well could be.
I mean, Colton last year coming out of Auburn played in 4 games, 3 total tackles.
Exactly.
Yep.
I mean – Vickers has more tackles at this point, but it's the same situation. They came in there, they saw some field time as a true freshman, but they preserved their eligibility and they're ready to contribute now.
Absolutely.
This one happened after we ended yesterday, Scotty. We got 2 commitments live on the show yesterday.
Yeah, we did.
That was dope.
Hell
How was the farmhouse?
Incredible as always.
I was impressed.
Yeah.
What'd you think of it?
Food was fire. You weren't lying about that.
I told you, bro.
It was just
What'd you get?
the chicken sandwich.
Okay.
Chicken
Nice.
sandwich. It was fire. It had like a a unique sauce on it. I didn't really know what to make of it.
They're chefing it up.
It was fire. I'm not gonna lie. And the vibes, the ambiance in there, it was dope. I was impressed. It was a good time.
That little like shrine to the Christmas ale you guys had on the side was fire.
That was dope. They had us set up nicely.
It was like a Christmas tree of Christmas.
Yes.
Okay, this one happened yesterday. Reginald Hughes has committed to Colorado.
Reggie.
Former Jacksonville State linebacker. Last year, breakout season, 13 games played, 82 total tackles, 10 tackles for a loss, 4.5 sacks. You lose Nikhai Hill-Green. You basically, this is damn near the production Nikhai Hill-Green had this year.
Yeah.
That is coming in. Of course, a different level and all that. We'll have to learn the defense, but you wanted an experienced linebacker last year. You got Nikhai Hill-Green. Now you got another one here in Reggie Hughes.
And he's a baller, man.
Yeah.
He's fun to watch. He can kind of do a lot of different things for you. He can get after the passer.
Yes.
He's instinctual in the run game. A better against the pass than maybe I was expecting. So I'm excited for him. This is a different type of transfer, right?
Uh-huh.
Guy who's now proven himself at a lower level, who's coming up to show that he can do it at a higher level. And, I go back to Nikhai Hill-Green, and I haven't really had a chance to talk about that. But just to go back to when he committed, and we had him on the show, and we asked him why. He said, I believe I'm one of the best linebackers in the country. I just need the platform to go show it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he did.
Yep.
He came here, and he got on that platform, and he showed it. And if I am reading between the lines or putting two and two together, being on that platform afforded him some exciting financial opportunities.
Oh, yeah.
Well said.
And so, you look at a guy like Reginald Hughes and you say, okay, same situation, right? I bet he believes that he is one of the best linebackers in the country, and he needs a platform to come and show it. And what better place to come show it?
Hell yeah, man. He's a baller. The thing that jumps out to me is just athleticism at the linebacker position. We saw many times this season, LaVonta or even Nikhai at times had to come off the field on third down in obvious passing situations, and I don't think that would be the same kind of fate for Reggie Hughes because he plays the pass very well. He flips his hips and can get into zones and make plays on the football. And you mentioned his ability to get to the quarterback too. 4.5 sacks last year, 6 quarterback hits in 2024. So he is a versatile player. And again, that's something that this coaching staff, Deion Sanders, obviously covets. Again, somebody that you don't have to take off the field on third down, somebody that you don't have to have an additional package for, a different personnel grouping, somebody you can leave on the field on all 3 downs and they're going to be effective, whether it's a run, whether it's a pass, whether it's long distance situations, goal line, red zone, whatever. I think this is a big get. Reggie Hughes can play.
And he just looks like a nightmare for running backs trying to pick him up in pass protection.
Oh, yeah.
He's a freight train.
Which is always fun.
Another
He
one
wears
today.
the uniform well.
He does. Did you see him his action shots at his visit yesterday?
Yeah. By the way, we never saw that combo this year, which was the gold numbers with the gold helmets on the black jerseys. It looked fire.
We had a question yesterday. What are the uniforms going to be for the bowl game? And I was like, I don't think we got like gold, black. I can't remember if we got it this year.
I hope he wears that number.
We got gold, black. No, we didn't. Give me gold, black. with the gold number.
Yeah,
that's tough. I hope Reggie wears the number 5 too that he was rocking on his visit. That'd be tough.
Shoot, can he join the team for next weekend?
Yeah.
All right, another one. Former Fresno State defensive lineman. You got it in my head. Gavriel Lightfoot.
Well done.
How do you say it, Scott?
I don't know, but I would say it. I would say Gavriel.
Oh.
That's how I would say it, but I don't know if that's right, obviously.
I just took Gabriel and replaced the V with the B.
And I get that.
Is that how it's spelled, too?
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
So it could be Gavriel.
Mm-hmm.
Gavriel.
Could be Gavriel. I think that's least likely.
What's the way you said it?
Gavriel. Gavriel. I feel like that. Don't that sound valid? Right, me? Alyssa, you think? I think so too. I feel like that just rolls. Gavriel Lightfoot. I feel like that's what it is. Who knows though? We're gonna have to ask him.
We will. But this guy, insanely productive. Has played in 35 career games at Fresno State, starting 27 of those games, 66 total tackles, 6 TFLs, 1 sack, 1 pass defended. and he's a monster. He's listed at 6'3", 296.
Yeah,
This is what you need.
Big fellow.
definitely. And now, again, they've really gone and, filled in some holes on the defensive line that are opening up with big, one guy who's been very productive, one guy who has a lot of potential. It feels like you can see kind of a pattern
Hell yeah.
here in terms of what they are tapping into.
They cooking, man. They giving Sapp and D-Lou some real talent to work with. I mean, again, you add Gavriel Lightfoot, again, who you said has started 27 games over the last few years, started as a true freshman at Fresno State, has been one of the Mountain West's most productive defensive tackles over the last few years. You add him to Jaheim Hodis from Alabama. You add, obviously, Amari McNeil, who's going to still be in the mix, assuming so. Our boy, Anquin Barnes as well. That interior, that defensive line has some real weight to it, some real talent as well. I'm excited about that group moving forward.
And now, first of all, as it relates to Nikhai Hill-Green, no one even knew that he had eligibility.
Nope.
Now I question everything. I'm
Well-
like, does Bach Bully have extra eligibility? Can we tap into that?
I was going to bring it up during Reggie Hughes, but he's a JUCO kid,
Yeah.
and he was technically a junior this last year. So I have no idea, bro.
This is like, have you ever seen that movie? I don't know what it's called actually, but I think it's called Time, something along those lines. And everyone has on their it's like a post-apocalyptic thing, and everyone has on their arm how much time they have left.
And
on
it's like
Earth.
currency, right?
And it's like
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
I think
And
Justin Timberlake in it.
Yeah,
I've seen
this
it.
movie.
and
Yeah,
I
I've
think
seen that.
Mila Kunis maybe.
Maybe.
Anyways, we need that, but just for eligibility years left. I need the eligibility clock inside of everyone's arm.
TC, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. True.
I thought he was a grad. I don't know. Nikhai was a grad, though.
I'm pretty sure TC can come back.
Okay. So we'll find out. We'll do press conferences in the next segment, but RK, yesterday we talked about all the other commits. I mean, your boy Buck Buchanan.
Yes.
Scotty mentioned Jaheim Otis. Who else? Zach Atkins.
What did you say a Buck Buchanan touchback is going to be called?
Touch Buck.
That's got to catch on. I love that.
But also, you can call him the Buchanan.
Facts.
Oh, I love that. And then Carter Miller. You got a center, too.
Yeah.
Just takeaways from that group.
I mean, all very exciting. Again, going out and directly addressing needs.
Mm-hmm.
The touchback thing, does Buck Buchanan know that all he has to do is kick the ball through the end zone and everyone's going to love him?
him.
He's
He messed
instant
around,
fan
get a massive NIL deal.
He's gonna get a standing. The first touch Buck is getting a standing ovation.
Yeah.
So I mean, maybe the best situation for a kicker to ever come into. All you got to do is kick it out of the end zone. That was a true need, something that hurt us this year.
Yeah.
That's hard to even quantify and talk about, but it was just everyone knew it was there. It was like a dark cloud just kind of hanging over it. That's taken care of. The tight end has been a hole for Colorado over the last 2 seasons. Hopefully they got a good one there. Center, again, now you've got really healthy competition in that room. You go from last year where it was kind of thin at the center position and didn't work out with Ikari Walker.
Tyler.
You tried to move Tyler Brown over there, and I think just even that attempt shows you kind of where they were at the position.
Yep.
Now you've got Cash Cleveland, who is a freshman All-American. You have Hank Zielinskis, who's seasoned, and now you bring in another guy on top of that to add to that room, add to that mix, and create more competition. So again, just building depth on top of depth. That's how you build a champion.
Just building up quickly on Carter Miller, who I had the pleasure of speaking with recently. I'm going to have that story. I'm going to publish on that story as soon as we finish up here, so go check that out on thednvr.com. But this is a guy who's has 20 starts on the offensive line over the last 2 seasons, 12 at center, 8 at left guard. He's going to be able to play both positions. He's comfortable at both positions. He's a leader, and this is another big get for the interior of that offensive line. They needed it for sure.
Definitely. Let's take our next break. And then we'll get to press conferences, a bunch of other stuff too. Shout out to the homies over at Elevations Credit Union with the sexiest credit card in world history. You got that black and gold sheen. You got the gold on black, the black on gold, with the CU logo. I mean, how does it get better than that? Comes with a bunch of benefits too. You get up to 3% cash back on CU tickets and merch and select CU merchants. Plus, you get 2% cash back on restaurants, gas, streaming, and phone plans. 1% cash back on daily spending, and of course, with every swipe, Elevations donates 2 cents to student athletes at Colorado through NIL, so you can directly support the CU student athletes and the football program. But they've been doing it since 1952 out here in Colorado. They're great people. They'll take care of you. And get this awesome credit card with all these benefits, too. It's Go Buffs with the Go Buffs Visa Signature Rewards Card, the only official credit card of CU Athletics, only at Elevations Credit Union. Visit buffscreditcard.com to apply and see full card benefits and details.
Also, shout out to Kerr's Lot.
Kerr's Lot.
A lot of Kerr's Lots were consumed this last weekend. Most by Jake, but that's neither here nor there.
I'm sorry.
But we love our friends over at Kerr's Lot. I didn't think it was that funny, but Scott's really laughing. That's making me laugh. Anyways, our friends over at Kerr's Light got you covered every time it's time to chill or maybe time to turn up in some cases. Get Kerr's Light delivered straight to your door with Instacart by going to KersLight.com/DNVR. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
I just want to say,
Stop. Please stop.
I would just like to say that I love you guys, and I had a blast with y'all in New York
I love you
this
guys
past
too.
weekend. It was
I'm so thankful you love me. That's all I have to say.
it's a weekend I'll forever remember, man. What a time.
You know, Jake, you could just say, like, if you don't love me at my 3 a.m. on the subway, you don't deserve me at my 3 p.m. on the show.
Thanks.
I am sorry, okay?
Oh, my God.
That was honestly epic weekend. Truly.
It really was. It really was. Okay, let's hit a few more. Or actually, let's do press conferences. 4 guys up today. It was a really quick media availability. We got sound from LaVonta Bentley and Drelon Miller. Kind of 2 different perspectives, right? I mean, you have a senior, like a real leader who helped solidify the culture of this team, and then a new instant contributor as a freshman who's going to be a big part of this team for a minute. So here's LaVonta Bentley just talking about what this senior class means and what it meant to play for Colorado the last 2 seasons.
Sorry, Bentley.
Yes, Bentley.
I'll say, man, the chemistry. Like, everybody just, close. Like, last year we didn't have that. So everybody, just leaning on one another and having fun. Like, we be joking and everything. Like, it's a real deal family here. And we built that. Like I said, last season we didn't have that. Everybody trying to go and get them and go ahead and get to the league. And this, like, we trying to win. Like, and that's what we been doing. And got us, some good stuff out of it. So.
You talked about the future being bright here.
Yeah.
How much pride are you going to take in watching Colorado football going forward?
Oh, very a lot of pride, man. Like you said, my last game here. I came here for a reason, and man, I built some great relationships with the coaches, the players, and all that. So it's definitely big on me to see what the people they bringing in, what they gonna do going forward. And I know, like they said, the standard, man. So we just got to keep it up.
I mean, if it weren't for guys like him, I don't know if this program's where it is right now. I mean, he was literally one of the first commitments, too.
Yeah.
Just going to say, underappreciated during his time here, and you're right. First ever visit weekend is when LaVonta Bentley chose to be a Buff during the the first ever transfer portal visits they were doing.
I think it was Taj Alston then LaVonta Bentley.
Yep.
That's crazy.
And so underappreciated and just a dog, truly, who got here and worked the whole time, and got better and better and better as a player. Worked through some really painful injuries.
Yeah.
That I just tip my cap to him. I mean, everyone kind of wants that old school linebacker on their team, and I think LaVonta Bentley is that guy.
Yeah, Coach Liv said yesterday that LaVonta Bentley is what college football is all about. I mean, a guy, coming in, again, when it was certainly uncertainty surrounding this program. Again, you guys mentioned it being the first kind of commit to Coach Prime out of the portal and whatnot. I mean, that talk about a risk. That's what it was, and especially after what unfolded last season, especially with him, I believe, being in and out of the lineup at certain points, out of the starting lineup. I mean, he could have instantly, pieced out after the season, but, he decided to stay, and he was rewarded for it. He obviously put in the work. Nikhai Hill-Green got a lot of love this season for his play on the field, but LaVonta Bentley was just as good, if not, maybe a little bit better in certain games. And again, he was a big reason why Nikhai Hill-Green, showed, so dope, late in the season in particular. So, LaVonta Bentley, remember him for a long time for sure. I'm excited to see him go out in a big way next Saturday.
And just a great example of betting on yourself too, because he played 4 years at Clemson. In I think he might have had a few starts here and there, but he was just a rotational guy. Like he wasn't in the starting conversation hardly ever at Clemson. And then comes here, takes a risk on himself and becomes, one of the pillars that have raised up the culture at Colorado over the last 2 seasons. So.
Amen.
And then, on the other side, Drelon Miller, talking about the new guys coming in and potentially his new quarterback, Julian Lewis.
I'm getting forward tonight. I love to meet them guys. I love to talk to them, see where their heads at. They come into a good program, of course, and, we just want to win. We're not at our ultimate goal. Playing in the bowl game is the best thing ever. My first one for my first year, so I love it, but that's not the ultimate goal. The ultimate goal is to win the national championship, and we still haven't did that yet, so I feel like it'd be good to continue to get there.
Drelon, just to kind of go along with that, with Julian being the quarterback next year, do you already know him, and, how excited are you to play with him?
Oh, I'm very excited. I didn't meet him until he started coming here on recruiting visits, but we got the bond, we got to talk a lot, so it'll be very fun next year.
Just that smile when I said Julian's name says it all to me.
Dude, just what a ray of sunshine Drelon Miller
He's
is.
great.
Just positive vibes all the time.
100%. And I think I love that there's a faction of this team, particularly of young guys, who aren't afraid of bringing up the words national championship. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that's dope, and that can be undervalued too, because I feel like in the past, people will look at you crazy if you bring that up, or it'd be like, this guy can't be for real. But it is actually within the realm of possibilities with this program and the way it's headed. And there's young guys like Drelon, like Chauncey Good, and like Mantrez Walker who have mentioned to me those 2 words, national championship. That bleeds into the rest of the team, and you can see that have an impact on the field.
100%. I like what you said about, excuse me, the national championship thing. It's the power of belief, right?
Yep.
The power of manifestation. Exactly. And, I look back to the Nuggets when they were kind of trying to get over that hump. They started talking about before the season, it's not about an 82-game season for us anymore. It's about whatever number they chose, 120-game season, because we plan to be playing for a long time. So we're not looking at this anymore as it's 82 games. We're looking at this for the long haul, and you kind of have to get into that mindset before you can ever, achieve it.
Definitely.
You have to be the first to believe that you can do that, or else it'll never happen. And that's true of everyone in all facets of life. You got to be the first person to believe that you can, sustain that diet, or that you can get that job that you're trying to achieve. All of that stuff, it starts with you. So the team has to believe that they can get there first. And, especially for those young guys, they have time. And they fully believe, that this trajectory will get them there.
Hell yeah.
All right. If you've been watching, Well Off and Reach the People and stuff, 2 guys are back. Very intriguing that Cam Michael and Omarion Miller are practicing.
Practicing?
I don't understand how Omarion's practicing, just being completely honest.
Yeah.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah, what was his injury again?
I don't know if they ever fully released it. It looked like he broke his ankle, though. He had surgery. He was in a scooter.
Yeah, for sure. Sometimes with broken bones, though, it's better than torn ligaments or anything
100%.
like that. So, probably just been drinking his milk his whole life. It's healed right up.
Strong bones.
No, that's impressive for him to get back. And then, man, how exciting would it be if we got a little Cam Michael preview in the Alamo Bowl? Of all the things that I want to see a Travis Hunter highlight. I want to see Shador 85% completions. Probably one final Travis Heisman pose on the field.
Oh, have to.
And then
Travis pick 6. I'll throw that out.
We do need a Travis pick 6. Now we're starting to ask for it.
Yeah, we're getting
Damn,
But
this
in
getting long.
that list, I would love to see a Cam Michael breakout play that just gives you a flash of what we might see from him next year.
Yep. It's exciting stuff, man. Just a few more things I want to get your thoughts on before we get to the final thing I want to talk about. Your boy, the power of manifestation.
Power of manifestation.
Zachariah Branch has entered the portal, but
Yes.
no contact clause.
So let me start by saying that I think. Actually, let me start by saying the power of manifestation is a beautiful thing,
It's real, man.
and is an important thing for everyone to know. Now we have to start manifesting not just Zachariah Branch to the portal, but Zachariah Branch to Colorado. Hopefully, we've still got time. I think the no contact tag is going to become a lot more popular in the next 5 years.
Oh yeah.
And the reason is, right now, no contact tag means I was tampered with and I already have an offer and I'm going to that school.
Pretty much.
What it's going to mean in the future is I'm only interested in these 5 schools. I don't really feel like getting my DMs blown up by every single person in the country. And so I think that it may be what Zachariah Branch is doing here, maybe not. But I think you're going to start to see someone go in with a no contact tag and then release a top 5.
Yeah.
Rather than go in and then never really do anything and then they're just at their next school.
Yeah.
That's fair. We already talked about Nikhai entering the portal. Today, Trevor Woods entered the portal. Your thoughts on that and JB coming back, withdrawing from the portal?
Happy to have JB back. Was very surprised when he entered just because, we had thought that of the 2 guys that entered midseason, JB and Trev, that JB would be the one who's coming back. Glad he's coming back. Obviously, interesting timing with it happening right after Nikhai went into the portal. Not sure if that's related or not. But JB to me just feels like he's like just such a part of this story.
I mean, Coach was talking about it yesterday, and it sounded like it was a very emotional conversation and heart-to-heart they had. So.
By the way to stand your ground when Coach was giving you shit. That was impressive, bro.
Yeah, I appreciate that, bro. It was a split second where I was like, is he for real right now? Like, is he really getting on that with me in front of all these people? And I'm like, there's just no way. But shout out to Coach Brian for giving me the business a little bit. Pause. But yeah, I mean, that was a pretty funny moment.
I thought he was testing you, and I thought you passed with flying colors.
Good looking, bro. Appreciate it.
Anyways, yeah, I mean, I loved his answer about that and just how he was shocked that he hadn't heard from JB, and I think that there's a lot of trust in that relationship, and that's something that Coach Prime prides himself upon is, like, if you were to call me and tell me what you're dealing with, like, I think you could trust me that I would tell you the best thing to do for you.
Facts.
And I hope JB comes back and balls out.
For sure.
Because that would just be another cool kind of, like, pathway in this story. So, yeah. And then as for Trevor Woods, I wish it would have worked out better.
For sure.
He had such a great fall camp and was really like just being praised from every angle, whether that was offensive players talking about him, coaches, fellow defensive players. And obviously Nikhai came in and held it down, and there was no reason for Trevor to go back in at that position. But, it would have been cool to see him really ball out. After being the best player on the 1-11 team. But at the same time, because he was the best player on the 1-11 team, I think he still has ball to play and to go out and show to the world. So we'll obviously be rooting hard for him wherever he ends up.
Yeah, man, he had some big moments here. Of course, the TCU game. I mean, the Cal game in 22. The CSU interception.
Mm-hmm.
He had some really big moments, so we all wish him well. Let's take our final break, and then we'll get to one more thing, and then Super Chats. Shout out to the homies at Circle K. Literally keeping us on the road, full, gassed up, all that stuff for the Great American Stampede. I still miss it greatly. We might be back, though. You never know.
Never know.
But shout out to Circle K. They basically let us just go raid them whenever we wanted to.
The homies.
Took it over. Sign up for the Inner Circle, though. Tons of deals. 25 cents off your first 5 Phillips when you join the Inner Circle. Also deals on Polar Pops. Every 5th item free on rollers. Tons more. So go check them out. Your one-stop shop on the road, wherever you're headed. Scan that QR code on the screen or download the Circle K app and sign up. And sign up for the Inner Circle for exclusive offers. New offers, purchase clubs, and sweepstakes are uploaded weekly.
Also, shout out to Toyota. Y'all already know I love my Toyota. Missed it while we were out on the road. And that's just, the sign of a great car. When you're riding around in someone else's car or you're away from your car for a bit and you're like, man, I missed the ride of my car. I missed the features of my car. That's how you know it's a good one. So if you want a car that you love like that, go visit a Front Range Toyota store at a location near you. AutoNation Toyota, Arapahoe and Centennial, Corwin Toyota in Boulder, Groove Toyota in Littleton, Mountain States Toyota in Denver, Stevenson Toyota East in Aurora, and Stevenson Toyota West in Lakewood. Toyota is a proud partner of CU Athletics and the official vehicle of DNVR.
You know, RK, when you were just talking there about how when you're out of town or whatever and you miss your Toyota, it made me think about the thought I had this weekend when I got back to Denver. Whenever I leave Denver, I'm low-key pretty happy to be back. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I know Jake
It's
feels the
undefeated.
same
No,
way.
you're
Like
you're
New York
preaching, though.
New York was dope, and like every travel that we've been on, when I touch back down in Denver, I'm like, yeah, this feels good. I'm not gonna lie, and I didn't think that I would get to that point. Only a year living here, but that's where I'm at, man. Shout out to this beautiful city and state.
I was about the same. Like a year living here, and I was exactly the same, bro.
I love to hear that from both of you guys, and it's funny that you bring that up because, Allie is from the East Coast, and when we first met, she was like still in her head thinking like I might want to move back to the East Coast.
Yeah.
And now when we got off the plane and we got home and we literally got in the car and started driving back, she was like, man, as soon as I see those mountains, it just like makes my soul feel so much better. I'm like, okay, I'm home.
Yep.
So that's a beautiful thing. I also would say the air too. That's something that sticks out to me. The first when you walk out of the airport, you get that first breath of like fresh mountain air. You're like, oh yeah.
Yep.
Definitely.
It hits. Julian Lewis is playing for a state title tonight.
Can't wait. Only in about an hour.
Yep. Carrollton's taking on Grayson. 14-0 Carrollton against 13-1 Grayson. This is the first time these two teams have ever met on a football field, actually.
Wow.
7 p.m. Eastern, as you said. They're playing in Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
That's dope.
How dope is that?
It is very, very dope and super exciting. I basically am treating this like a game day. That's how I felt when I saw it. I'm like, all right, it's game day. I can't wait to watch my QB.
Pretty much.
And I'm hoping because last game was the most I've watched, a full Carrollton game. And it was clear that Juju wasn't himself. And he still balled out.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping that he's fully healthy now and can really go out there and sling it.
Definitely.
Stream.
For those, I think it's called GPB Sports. I'll double check real quick.
If you're on Twitter and if you're in the Buffs algorithm, I'm sure you'll find it in the next hour. Everyone will be posting it.
You mentioned that game at Mercedes-Benz Stadium tonight. I thought it was also cool how Drelon mentioned today how he played at the Alamo Dome where they'll be playing next week back. Was he just say for an all-star game or for the state championship game?
Yeah, I think he said an all-American game or something.
That was dope. The boy familiar in that stadium, making plays. I'd expect another one next week from that young man.
So it's GPB Sports on YouTube, I think has the game tonight. When you watch this, you will be blown away that this is a high school broadcast.
It's a real production.
It really is. All right, let's get to questions and super chats. Ricky asks, is Nikhai Hill-Green playing in the bowl game? No, he's gone, man. He's in the portal. He is no longer with the team.
And I think Coach said somewhere, was it yesterday? Just that the guys who are in the portal are in the portal.
Yeah. Yep. That's their decision.
Did Jakeem White leave the portal? Remember he entered the West Virginia running back?
Bro, I haven't heard nothing about him.
Maybe we just saw a fake report.
You actually the only one that I've ever heard really talk about him since the portal open. I ain't gonna lie. I haven't seen him on social or nothing.
Well, he was in the game last night, so maybe he's not in the portal.
Interesting.
But then he got injured, so hopefully he's all right.
Big Teasy in the house. Are
Big
any of the
Teasy.
recruits on campus? Any of them practicing with the team? Unfortunately, I don't know.
So we've heard I don't know, rumblings.
Carday
Even
said
Carday
last
Smith-
week that he would.
Yeah, said
Yeah.
he was going to join the team for practices.
I mean, Quanell just put up like a goodbye post to North Shore yesterday.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
What a time.
Yeah. Julian's obviously playing tonight, so
Does Julian pack his bags and head to Boulder tomorrow? State championship trophy in one hand, duffel in the other.
yeah, state title and bag. I mean, may as well keep riding the momentum, right?
That still reminds me of, this is totally off topic, but still kind of cool. Cale McCarr, obviously a star defenseman for the Avs, played in the national championship game for his college, and then played in a playoff game for the Avs 2 days later,
That's crazy.
and scored a goal on his second shift.
Wow.
Damn,
It was sick.
Damn.
that's different.
Yeah, he's a demon.
Will Vickers stay at corner or possibly move to safety? To be honest, I haven't watched him. He has limited film too, so we'll find out. Nickname is Seatbelt. How you feel about that?
Sounds like a corner to me.
Epic nickname, as long as someone gave it to him.
Fair enough.
Because everyone, there's a lot of these high school kids. I swear it's born from prime time.
Yeah,
Giving myself a nickname will help me be more recruitable.
right.
And I respect the hustle, but yeah, I got to hear that came from his coach, and that'll fire me up.
Top 75 recruit. Proved it at some point. Is Tyler Brown returning next year? Asked Kevin. I think so.
Yeah.
Okay. Mr. Hillsman, are they still not in the hunt for the Oklahoma center? No, he. Well, I don't know actually, because he committed to SMU, but his visit wasn't scheduled till this weekend, so he could have canceled his visit. He could still be coming. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
I see Jordan White committed to Vandy.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah.
Wow, Vandy. Damn.
Thought the Buffs were in on him, where they were, but that would have been a good get.
That was a future visit too, I think.
He was slated to visit
Where is he coming from?
Liberty.
Liberty.
Maybe he likes that area of the country.
Nicholas asks, will you guys attend the NFL draft?
No.
The NFL draft is in Green Bay this year.
Yuck.
Extra no.
Yuck.
Getting to Green Bay is actually a pain in the ass.
I can imagine. I'm Heaven's Demon. Any chance we get Tacario Davis?
I shouldn't say no on going to the NFL draft, but it's unlikely.
Yes.
I feel like his
Possibly.
recruitment's been quiet.
It has been quiet.
Yeah.
Not a lot of buzz.
I think I think the Buffs have a chance.
Jamel says, how do you feel about LV printed logos on the Buffs uniforms for the bowl game? I mean, that'd be tight, but I don't think that's going to happen.
It'd be super
That'd
hard.
be insane.
It would have to start with Nike and Louis collaborating,
Yeah.
Which would go crazy.
which
Facts.
would go crazy. If anyone can make it happen, it's Deion Sanders.
All right, Super Chats. DJ Flame to you. What's up, gents? F the Chiefs, F the Jayhawks. We doing a Juju watch party tonight. You hopping in the chat tonight? On the...
Probably, yeah.
I'll be watching.
I'm gonna put it on the big screen.
Wow.
And then maybe I'll have my phone on this, just on the chat.
You're locked in.
I'm telling you, bro, this is game day.
QB's playing tonight, man.
Also, there's nothing else,
Facts.
no other sports on.
That's true.
But even if there were, I'd still be watching this.
DJ Flame, oh, Jesus. Says, Jake, you're live on Heisman night when y'all were walking around the subway was epic. RK was just happy Travis won the Heisman. Jake, you and Allie love-hate relationship is hilarious.
Damn.
No comment.
I don't know what was on live and what wasn't.
Bro, you was on live walking
No,
around the subway, bro. I don't remember that.
No.
Oh, my God.
Bro,
I definitely remember you were on live when I finally saw a rat.
Facts.
I don't remember a lot, if I'm being honest.
The live got a workout button from you on Saturday night,
Yeah.
bro, for sure.
I remember I was live with Will in the car,
In the Uber, yeah.
and then after that, a lot of things I don't really remember.
I transported an entire bushel of balloons across the Brooklyn Bridge.
Facts.
DJ Flame to you says, Scott was fresh on Heisman night. RK, you married up. She's way out of your league. LOL. JK, lastly, hit the like button. FTP is the real MVP. Facts.
Appreciate you, DJ.
I take that as a compliment.
East Coast Kev says, either way, I'm happy with our new QB picks. I have no dog in this fight. Speaking of dog, oh my gosh, dog in the fight.
Oh my
Congrats
God.
That
to
is crazy.
Michael Vick on his new coaching ventures.
It's true, man. Shout out Mike Vick, man.
I
had a
shout out Mike Vick.
fat head of Michael Vick in my room as a kid. My favorite pair of cleats in the 5th grade of my life that I had in the 5th grade were a pair of Michael Vick cleats, the red and black strap. Michael Vick was probably my favorite athlete as a kid growing up,
Same.
regardless of sport.
And you're probably a little too young for Michael Vick at Virginia Tech,
I am.
which was
I
I don't even remember that.
Yeah, that was like probably my favorite college quarterback ever to watch outside of the Buffs. Yeah, he was so fun to watch.
I saw a tweet recently. It was like, name a sporting event that you cried at. And I remember the Falcons were playing the Eagles, I believe. I think we might have talked about this either in the NFC Championship
title game,
or in
yeah.
the divisional round.
Oh,
And
yes.
the Eagles beat the Falcons. And I just remember going to my bathroom and just crying, just sitting on the toilet, just crying that Mike Vick was eliminated from the playoffs.
Oh, if I had to choose a sporting event that I cried at, I would choose the 2024 Heisman Trophy ceremony.
I remember after Michael Vick broke his leg in like 2003 or whatever, he like came back on a Monday Night Football game. Do you remember this? And they played the Panthers.
Yeah.
And he just ran all over him. He had a crazy diving touchdown to like win the game in overtime and stuff. Like he was already he was hero status after that.
Facts.
For me.
Absolutely.
Coach Barry says Makari Vickers, 6'1", 192 cornerback from Oklahoma, has committed to Colorado. Yes, sir.
Thank you. I love how I feel like everyone gets the news like however they get it, and then they come over here and they're like, "Did you guys hear?"
I know. Big says, what are the chances we get Brewster back to replace Riz? Highly unlikely because that's kind of different.
Different roles.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Shout out Coach Brew, though. Damn, we're at 518 likes.
Hell yeah! Smash that like button.
Hit that like button. We got like 2 minutes.
Yeah, that 2018 Saints Rams game. I don't know if I've ever seen a call like that affect the game. That was crazy.
Yeah. That
Or a
wild.
non-call, I should say.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember
Talk
that?
about Rams Saints.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I was in New Orleans like a week after that, and
Were they okay out there?
no, bro, my Uber driver was just talking about how like the NFL is rigged, and like he saw
Oh,
this YouTube
yikes.
video that proves it, and I was like, oh
Wow.
this is bad.
Last super chat from Coach Barry says, somebody tell me why hasn't Nikhai Hill-Green with 82 tackles signed with the Power 5 already? He just entered the portal
Just
like 2
got in
days
the
ago,
portal,
bro.
yeah.
He'll get there.
Also shout out Goonsville. I was
Shout out
I walked
Goonsville.
in downstairs with my Goonsville hoodie on, and our bartender down there said, one time I think I ran into the guy who started that. We were at 7-Eleven and like he didn't have his wallet or something, so then I bought his soda or whatever he was buying, and then he's like, I don't know how to repay you, so he gave me a Goonsville sticker.
Hell yeah.
He's
That's
like, I've never
dope.
seen anyone rocking it until now. So your grassroots marketing there worked because he remembered it from that sticker.
Go crazy, bro.
Congrats to them, too. They just graduated college.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Congratulations.
All right. Is that it?
Is it?
Okay. We will have a guest tomorrow. Correct?
Yeah.
Remote.
Yeah.
And then on Friday.
Friday we got Unkin Studio.
Yeah.
No way. Let's go.
It's been a minute. It's been
It's
a minute.
been far too long.
And yeah, then we have a Saturday one coming your way too. Hell yeah. That's what's up. All right, guys. We'll be back tomorrow. Check it all out on thednvr.com. We got a lot of stuff coming your way. I'm going to dig into the Kaidon Salter film. There's a film room coming out later this week, so you have that to look forward to.
Love
Hell
to see
yeah.
it.
All right. See you tomorrow. Let's go Buffs.
Go Buffs.
We all silly like the mayor.